Hello, and welcome to God Will Where You Win. I am your host, Chandronette Mobley, and today we have with us a special guest, Ella LaBranche. Ella has a very inspirational story, and I say very because it's inspirational to me, and I hope it'll be inspirational to you. But as early as 8, God, Ella remembers having somewhat like a God Will Where You Win experience. Ella, how is it that as early as 8 years old, you had a God Will Where You Win experience?
Well, coming from a family of 12, I was the fifth of 12 children in a household where my parents were immigrants to the US. So we were first generation American from a family that didn't speak English. That wasn't their first language. Although they spoke English to us because my mom and dad were both raised in the Bahamas. So English was their language, but it wasn't their primary language. So that was a struggle. And when you're coming from a foreign country, a poor foreign country at that, it was extremely difficult. So there were times where there was no food on the table, so it was very difficult. And those moments, even as young as the age of 8, I would question, where is God? You know?
Right. Now, being that English was your parents' first language,
No, Creole was
Creole was their first language,
yes.
but English their second language, I'm sorry, for their transition. Did that deter them or make it difficult for them to find work once they got over here? Was that part of the struggle?
Yes, I think it was part of the struggle, not knowing the language, and when you did speak, you spoke with a heavy accent. So um, the only good part of, well, I won't say the only good part about it, it was that we were in Miami, so it has a large population of Spanish, Haitian, Jamaican. So it was welcoming in that sense, but um, work was very hard to find.
Now, on a day-to-day basis, what did life look like for an 8-year-old who was maybe nurturing and trying to help the family go forward and take care of siblings?
Now, looking back, it was probably bleak. You know, you can't see the rainbow at the end of the tunnel. And early in life, I realized that if I'm going to get out of this situation, I need to take education seriously. So that was my only guiding light, was education and someone guiding me. And I think it was God guiding me within, as because I was a very wise person at a very young age. And I don't know if I got it from my parents or my grandparents, but looking back, it was my grandmother's attribute that I had in me.
Now, talking to Ella, what she told me before is that at 10 years old, she was the one rounding up everyone to go to the dentist. How were you doing that at 10? At 10?
Well, one day at school, they gave us some kind of like a red dye to put in our mouth, and they didn't really explain it, but I kind of knew what it was for, to see if there was any plaque and stuff build up and stuff. And so I realized, we've never been to the dentist. So we had a really small community in Miami. It's called Wynwood now, but they call it Midtown also. And we had a local dentist. And the good thing about where we grew up is it was foreign. So the dentist was a Cuban immigrant herself. So when I came in and inquire about services, she was like, "Where's your mom?" I was like, "I don't know." But it's me and my younger siblings that want to get our teeth fixed. So I brought the insurance card, and I filled out everything. And she was like, "Okay, come this day." And I started, keeping a journal of everything I had to do as the oldest of the 7 that were behind me.
Wow.
And made sure that, okay, I went today, you'll go this day. Can I make an appointment for my little brother? And she was like, "How many of you are there?" And I was like, it's a lot. So I just found a lot of inspiration in just taking them and making sure that they were taken care, taken.
Now, I know at 10 years old, I was not thinking about how can I get everybody together or get out my siblings, or I don't think I would have that mindset. So you're saying, or you feel like God was definitely with you and instilled some kind of his, a gift, I would think.
I don't say that it's a gift. I think that we all have it in us. It's just that at what age are you bringing that out?
That you needed.
Yeah, and I think those survival skills for me, because the struggles came out very early.
Wow. Wow. So were you helping also making dinner? Were you getting the food ready?
Not at that age. I think it was more like classes, to, anything that kept us going to school and kept us in school and learning and giving us a chance to take advantage of the education that was that the U.S. provided. So.
Okay. Well, looking back, how do you feel that, I guess, going through those struggles and then overcoming them, have they helped you like today or right now?
Well, I think I have a very driven spirit. Like once I set out on a goal, I make sure that I accomplish that goal and I don't deviate from it until it's finished. And then I always do like a 5-year plan and make sure that I follow through on it. So.
Okay, so knowing that, let's talk about some of your successes. So knowing where you came from, knowing what you wanted, making your plans. Can you talk about some of your successes that you have now?
I wouldn't call them success.
Why not? Why would you call them success?
Because it's just what you need to do to strive as an adult. Going to school. I went to the University of North Florida and got a degree, a bachelor's in nutrition. And I have to tell you, when I got the degree, I was attending this real small church, and I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. So when I finished, I went to the church and spoke to this one elderly lady, and I told her, I finished. She was like, Ella, I didn't know that you were going to school. And I was like, yeah, I finished. And she just kind of told the whole congregation that, Ella just graduated. And I was like, oh my God. I said, I was almost like, there's no big deal in that, me graduating. But lo and behold, there was someone in the crowd that was listening. And that day we were in the kitchen. I could remember like it was today. And the lady came up to me, and she was a new member of the church. And she was like, Ella, I heard you over talking about trying to get an internship for nutrition, and that it costs somewhere between $2,500 and $10,000. And I would like to help you and give you $5,000. And I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Out of nowhere. And I was like, I really don't need. She was like, no, you're a good kid and you come here, you're always helping where you see fit. And I just want to help you with that residency program that they offer after, or you have to pay for. And I said, can I say? She was like, just say thank you.
Wow. See what I mean? So another one of her attributes is being selfless. And then I don't want to say being modest, but in your mind, you don't think you're doing anything special. But to me, I guess because I'm seeing the back end and seeing your successes, and then you're humble about it. But then over time, I've gotten to know your struggles and the story that has brought you to this point.
Right.
Okay, so now you went to UNF, you got your bachelor's in nutrition. Okay, what's the next?
Well, I ended up not acquiring an internship for nutrition, and then I told the lady, I was like, well, she ended up not giving me $5,000. She ended up giving me $7,500, and then I said. So the $7,500, I thought about it really hard, and I said, you know what? I've always wanted to be a nurse, and I think I have that nursing character
Caring, right?
in me, so that's where I'll go. And I told her, and I said, Miss Kathy, I decided to go to nursing school instead of pursuing nutrition, and I could always pursue it at a later date. And she said, go ahead, kiddo, I trust you. And so I end up getting into a nursing school. And for me, it was like in the back of my mind, I had Miss Kathy there as a guiding light. She ended up passing away. But any struggles that I had throughout nursing school, I always had her in the back of my mind saying, keep going, don't move, stay put. It's there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I was able to do nursing. I did the 2-year degree in 1 year, and because they took all my credits from UNF, and so I just wanted 1 year and a semester. I was done, passed my boards with flying colors. So that was all a part of my journey to become the person I am today. So, and now I went back to UNF to pursue a BSN, a bachelor's in nursing, and I should be done this December.
Okay.
And I plan on going back to become a nurse practitioner. So
Wow.
that's where
So
I'm at.
as you see, you understand she's really driven. But there's one more thing that I think is special. You also own your own business, right?
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about that?
It's a hair business, and that's how I met Chandronette.
Right.
Was through her little sister. We were in. I used that business to get me through school. We opened up a salon, and with any business, it's always a struggle when you first start. So I knew that with persistence and if you have a goal, you just keep at it. Don't think that you're going to get rich in a day, because Rome wasn't built in a day. So it was one of those things that, okay, I know how to run this business because I was doing it at home, and I'll tell you what to do. And she is my little sister now, and I could not have asked for a more caring, trusting person as her little sister is to me. And through her little sister, I met Chandronette, and it's now like a family away from Miami,
Right. And again, just to reiterate, I met her through my sister salon. And so knowing that she has also kind of helped and inspired my sister, because I see how successful the shop is, and that my sister now, is successful. I think she's successful in her own right. So knowing that Ella has been able to inspire, touch a lot of people, but then knowing that it came from humble beginnings.
Right.
You have something you want to say?
No, I'm just listening.
No, but so to get back to the point where I wanted her to kind of give you an idea of her successes, what she's done. But one of the main points, or one of the main things that I am really inspired by, is she's very, very crafty with her finances. I know that's my struggle. So when I look at her, knowing how she's able to be smart with her money, save, I'm like, how? Show me. What do you do? But it goes back to her beginnings.
And I forgot this other story I was supposed to tell you, but through that money I acquired in church, before that, I had a neighbor that was struggling, and it ended up that he had Alzheimer's disease, and I caught it at the very beginning, and I was like, Paul, what's wrong with you? And he was like, kind of talking off the wall. And so I started helping him with his finance and stuff like that. And I said, we need to find a family member of yours that can help us help you. And so he gave me his sister's number. That was the only remaining survivor. And he was a Navy veteran. that retired, and I said, I've always known Paul, and he's always been a good person. So it was natural for me to just step in and help him out. And for 3 or 4 months, I helped paid all the bills until he gave me his sister's number. And I called the sister and told her, I think there's something wrong with your brother. You need to come down. She came down from Arizona, and she found the house to be in disarray. Not as, he just never kept up the house, and it was falling apart. And so that day when she came down, she started crying. I said, I've helped them the best I could. It's time for you to step in. So she stepped in, but Florida and Arizona, that's over 1,000 miles away. And so that day, she was like, I got to find a nursing home to put him in and everything. And I came home and I told my husband, I said, you know what? I think Penny is going to give me Paul's house. And he was like, what? Why do you think somebody will give you a house? I said, because he never took care of it. And me stepping in, it became overwhelming to get her brother out of the situation and then put him into a nursing home, whether it be Florida or Arizona. She was just like, this is overwhelming. I thought my brother was in a better situation than what he was in. He was kind of a recluse. So it was, she knew that, but she didn't know how dire his situation was. So she said, well, let me go back home, and can you take care of him while I leave to reorganize and think of what I'm going to do next? So I said, okay, I'll take care of Paul. And I told my husband, I was like, you know what? And she did end up saying, you can have the house because I'm going to let it go into foreclosure, or if you want it, you can have it. And I was like, I said, let's get $20,000 together. We'll fix the house and see if will allow Paul to stay in the house, and we'll take care of him. And so we did that. And when she came back to pick him up, because I knew it was very overwhelming and it was last minute, she was like, and I proposed to her, I said, Penny, if you would allow me, we'll take care of Paul until we can't anymore. And we ended up doing it for 5 years until he became unbearable, because that disease is a very progressive disease, as I found out. And we took care of him, took him to all his appointments, and she was very grateful. And I was grateful because while he stayed here, she paid off the mortgage.
Wow.
And so this is this is the house that we're in now. We stay in. It's mortgage free. So those are all the blessings throughout the years that when you ask yourself, God, where were you when? He's always with you, and you just have to find that inner voice and think about it. Whatever situation you're in, just think about who put you there. What he does give you is wisdom,
right?
And what do you do with that wisdom is what makes you who you are,
right? And I would say that you are wise and you are blessed, and all of it, even though at a young age, you had your hardships, but it definitely molded you for what you were growing or going to grow into as you got older. And it's been for your benefit. Because I would say, from what I've seen, even in life, there are some people who may be thrown into a hard situation. And with that hard situation, it molds them, it makes them, and then they're able to do what you do. But with me, maybe I didn't have like a hard situation, but I'm looking like, okay, I need to have this attribute. I need to be more disciplined. I need to have all of these things. And basically saying this to say this, if you did have a small beginning or a hard life, it's not all bad, and it's not a bad thing or to be ashamed of. Use it to your benefit, because there are some people who may look at you and say, okay, I need that attribute. And what you went through molded you. But I guess we all have our strong points and our weak points. But when I look at you, I'm inspired. So I did want to say that and share that.
Oh, okay.
Can you share with us what your salon name is and location?
It's Braids by Design, and it's 10033 Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida, 32246.
Okay. So before we get out of here, I want to say thank you for watching God, Where Were You In? Ella, do you have anything to share?
And then the only take-home point that I have is that no one owes you anything, and you always have to, strive to be a better person. And it's not for what you're going to receive, it's for you, self-growth and evolution.
But then I want to add this too. But if you know to do good in your heart and then to do it and then continue to do it, knowing that you're going to help somebody, you will see the blessings of it because God is not going to overlook that. It may not come when you want it, but know that God is watching and He is the one that gives the blessings. So until next time, thank you for watching. God, Where Were You In? Bye.